Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for coming here today. It's an absolute pleasure to be here at the National Army Museum for this year's Sanctuary Awards. Today we are gathered here to essentially celebrate something special. The outstanding sustainability and environmental management efforts that are driving efficiencies, operational resilience and more across defence, our estate and our enterprise. This isn't just an awards ceremony. The event marks a remarkable milestone. 3 decades, I think it's 50th anniversary of Sanctuary, Richard, which therefore for half a century has showcased vital conservation sustainability work happening across defence. As you know, these awards have recognised the impressive and dedicated individuals and groups whose tireless efforts benefit sustainability, environmental protection and conservation both here in the UK and overseas. For 50 years, conservation groups have been active across our estate, and I do want to take this opportunity to call out their work of those dedicated volunteers and just to say, keep up your activity. In preparing for these awards, I realised that these are my 6th. It's my 4th as Director of Energy and Environment, and now hopefully Infrastructure as well, as of the 1st of November. So I'm always surprised by the sheer breadth of projects that are underway. I'm definitely really reassured by all of your passion and enthusiasm. And it is just reflective of Sanctuary's proud heritage. And it does mean that every time I come back here, I always learn something new and just take away something as well to deliver back to wider MOD. Sanctuary has evolved though, it's fair to say, over those 50 years. It has now moved from individual efforts to looking at wider work to address defence strategic challenges. And this indeed reflects our growing understanding of the environmental issues that are affecting our department, be it adaptation, mitigation, environmental protection and indeed enhancement. This is a whole of system challenge and also has the ability to actually directly shape defence activity as well as preserving our licence to operate. As we all know, defence in the UK is facing growing threats, both state and non-state, and we need to become more operationally effective and resilient. Our estate does have a vital and important role to play in this fight, as well as our equipment procurement, as well as the work across all our delivery organisations. Therefore, all that we do is helping the MOD adapt to a more hostile operating environment. It helps us innovate at pace, and it definitely helps us meet the growing threat coming out of this uncertain world, and indeed also enhancing our capability generation. At various points during today, you'll hear a list of about the Defence Review. The SDR has set out a clear vision to shift the UK to wartime readiness and innovative pace. And we do face growing and diversified threats, and climate change is recognised within the SDR as a transnational challenge which intersects with rapid technology change and strategic competition. With a large, diverse estate, we have the ability to contribute to both the delivery of the SDR, as well as the government's wider ambitions around climate and the environment, be that the Clean Power Mission, be that a whole host of other stuff. We are still, as a department, responsible for delivering on our greening government commitments. These are government's commitments for all central government departments to drive forward environment and sustainability activity. And we also must respond to the growing and emerging challenges which are linked to environmental protection and strengthening statute and legislation. We are and have been and will continue to be a really good steward of our estate, and we continue to protect our licence to operate. The work that is done by all people in the room contributes directly to this, and we still need to be going further. We need to be going further to look at the scale of the challenges that are facing us. We need to secure funding through things like the Departmental and Defence Investment Plan, and we need to be supporting defence reform as well. And through all of this, we need to be thinking about how environment plays its part. If we get this right, defence will be able to be operationally effective and resilient. We will continue to harness opportunities from emerging energy technology and also from things like circular economy. However, it won't be easy. We must continue to drive work forward and ensure that we can actually fight and win in this complex of environments. Success will require us all to be involved from every part of defence, be it either in Department of State, the Military Strategic Headquarters, MSHQ, the NAD Group, the Nuclear Enterprise, and indeed the wider defence enterprise as well. So, before we go into the actual awards themselves, I want to personally congratulate all today's award winners. I want to give a shout out to all the volunteers. I want to give a shout out to those who have been dealing with the technical problems in the back. I want to thank everybody who has actually been helping with the entire sanctuary administration as well. Your commitment and dedication exemplifies the passion we need to ensure our future resilience. I'm now going to hand back to Richard and Hannah, and we can continue with the awards. So thank you very much, both of you, and enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you, James. Hello, everyone. I'm Hannah Preston, Deputy Head of Sustainability in the Defence Infrastructure Organisation. Along with Richard, I'm really excited to be announcing our amazing sanctuary winners today. We'd like to say a huge thank you to Major General Andy Sturrock, DIO Director Strategy and Plans, and Air Commodore Will Dole, Head of RAF Infrastructure, who will be presenting the trophies to our winners. But before we start announcing the results, here is a bit of background about how today's award winners were chosen. The 34th Sanctuary Awards were judged by a dedicated panel of 7 members. They all come from a range of disciplines and have an element of sustainability in their backgrounds. 6 of the judges are pictured here on a sunny day at Salisbury Plain training area where the panel met. Sadly, Ray had to join virtually, but we found a sunny picture of him too. The judging panel used an online portal to review all the long-listed nominations and read about a huge range of truly incredible and unique projects from across the whole of Defence. Via the portal, each nomination was allocated a maximum of 40 points, and later the panel convened in person to discuss and moderate the results. Though the nominations represented a huge range of fantastic projects and individuals, they did manage to reach a group consensus on the award winners and runners-up. They also had a lively discussion about which of the category winners would be taking home the coveted Silver Otter Trophy and the Operational Capability Award. One thing the judges have all said to me is that the standard of entries was really high, and I'm glad I didn't have to choose between them all. It is really lovely that the judges are all here today and will get to meet the award winners in person and not just on paper. And we would like to give a special thank you to everyone who took time to submit a nomination. I'd also like to add a special thanks to Ray Dickinson. Ray has been a Sanctuary Awards judge for many years and with the MOD for even longer. We hope you're enjoying your well-deserved retirement, Ray. Your knowledge and wise words will be missed during the next round of awards. But now to get to the exciting part of the day and find out who the judges have chosen as the 34th Sanctuary Award winners. We start today with the Early Career Award. This is presented to individuals who have made a significant contribution to sustainability at the beginning of their careers. The second place Early Career Sanctuary Award goes to Major Peter Mackenzie, whose work is not just a load of hot air.
My name is Major Pete Mackenzie, and I lead a project which aims to improve the efficiency and resilience of defence infrastructure using traditional passive cooling techniques. We've shown that these low-cost solutions can be highly effective and have the potential to help us adapt to climate change while also reducing emissions. The project began by addressing the overheating of guard towers, an issue I experienced firsthand while deployed in Iraq. We found that the main source of the overheating was radiation coming from the galvanised steel roof, as well as restricted airflow through the building. Using a combination of simulation and lab testing, we designed a new roof, which reduced the radiant heat by 97% and increased the airflow by 19%. The design can also be easily implemented and is completely passive, meaning it requires no additional energy. While solving this problem, it became apparent that it wasn't unique to towers. The same materials, galvanised steel roofs and cladding, are used across the defence estate, from hangars to containerised housing units. That means that the challenges of heat radiation and poor airflow are far more widespread than we initially thought. The work we've done can be applied to any of these buildings, and our research is also highlighting other opportunities for passive cooling design. This also includes equipment, particularly systems which contain energetics. We've shown that passive cooling can have real potential to improve the defence estate. By applying it more widely, we could increase our resilience in hotter climates, reduce the need for mechanical cooling, and cut both carbon emissions and energy costs.
And now to the winner. The Early Career Sanctuary Award winner is Joanne Bevan, who has been making an impact at RAF Bulmer.
Hello, my name is Joanne Bevan, and after 25 years in the Royal Air Force, I joined the Civil Service as a Station Environmental Protection Advisor at RAF Bulmer. RAF Bulmer is a non-flying unit providing 24/7 surveillance of UK airspace and tactical control of combat and support aircraft. When I arrived, I hadn't realised the station's huge conservation potential. One of my first projects was creating safe nesting areas for amber-listed oyster catchers, doubling the number of breeding pairs. I also partnered with local volunteers to restore our overgrown pond, improving biodiversity on site. I delayed silage cutting to protect red-listed skylarks, reinstated sangers for nesting barn owls with the assistance of local ringers, and revived our long-dormant beehive project, now with 3 active hives and growing interest from staff. I also partnered the station with Northumberland Wildfires Group. What began as a conservation project has become a key part to our operational resilience. From litter picks to newsletters, monthly projects, I give everyone the chance to get involved, whether outdoors or from behind a desk. At Bulmer, conservation has become a station-wide effort that supports both well-being and mission readiness. I'm proud of what I and we have achieved in the last 12 months.
Stage.
So, a huge congratulations to our first winners of the day. So now we move on to the Environmental Enhancement Award. Here the judges were looking at projects that enhanced biodiversity, developed research or tackled pollution. So the second place Environmental Enhancement Award goes to Otterburn Training Area, where the team have been delivering excellent work to improve ecosystem services. Let's hear more about their work.
My name is Major Frank O'Kane and I'm the Senior Training Safety Officer here at Otterburn Training Area. Otterburn Training Area is the second largest in the country after Salisbury Plain, and I would say that the biggest threat is the threat of wildfire. We have a team of ecologists and LMS, and in tandem with the tenants they've initiated a programme to re-wet the peat, and that's primarily through a series of grips and grip blockings to reduce the risk of wildfire. That's great for me because then that allows me to do more training and obviously great for the troops.
I'm Karen Fisher. I'm the ecologist for DIO, and this is a man-made grip that was draining a SSSI. To restore it, we've installed log jams and working with the tenant farmer because there's issues with sheep and livestock getting in and dying. We've unusually backfilled it with brush, and we are now collecting the sediment that was free-flowing, and we are no longer losing water from the fire break.
We've been farming here as tenants at Barrowburn for the last 9 years, and over that time we've been looking to shift the focus of the business a little bit. Part of that has been around a new focus on biodiversity and trying to reduce the carbon emissions that the business creates. The MOD's partnered with us in that work by providing us with some great infrastructure and allowed us to shift away from sheep and get into cattle, which helps us to manage the biodiversity of the hill ground.
We've introduced some innovative ways of supporting our tenant farmers here at Otterburn to help those tenants invest in the infrastructure and the holding, whereby the tenants fund the upfront capital costs of projects and we reduce their rent to reimburse them over a period of time. Smaller projects have been funded as well in the same way to help management of farmyard manure, to help reduce runoff from that manure, improving water quality, increasing the biodiversity in the holdings and on the farms.
Can the team representatives please make their way to the stage? And so to the winner of the Environmental Enhancement Sanctuary Award. The incredible winning project is the West Chisholmbury River and Wetland Restoration Project. Let's hear about what they've done on a very windy day.
This is our new West Chisholmbury wetland. The original driver for this came from the new development that MOD needed, which was the Army Basing Programme. In the first instance, it was identified as an opportunity for a wetland with our partner, Wiltshire Wildlife Trust. From that, there was the germ of an idea to see if we could use that opportunity to meet our phosphate, our nutrient responsibilities. So this is a new wetland designed to filter the river water, absorb phosphates into the plants, the reeds, and the reed sweetgrass and so on, and then into the sediment before the river water then goes back into the main channel.
This is a first of its kind project that includes a nutrient neutrality element to it, as well as a river restoration scheme. So what we've done is tried to emulate what the river might have looked like at the end of the last ice age. We've seen an enormous explosion in wildlife and plants here. So back when this was completed in 2024, this was a barren moonscape behind me, and then in the space of a year, it's turned into this lush paradise.
It's absolutely wonderful to see it now. It looks absolutely superb, and every time we come back, it looks even better with even more plant colonising. It really is such an improvement for the river, but for biodiversity generally. So right from the outset, from the planning stages, when it's just a concept design, and then to actually see it happen on the ground, it is something we feel very proud of.
Can the team representatives please come forward on stage and collect your award? Thank you.
Congratulations team, and I really look forward to hearing about how the wetland develops. So on to our next category, the Net Zero and Resource Efficiency Award. Here the judges were looking at projects that contribute to the Ministry of Defence's net zero ambitions. The second place Net Zero and Resource Efficiency Sanctuary Award is Aramark UK, who have been reducing the carbon footprint in catering.
Partnering with Foodprint, a Nutritics-powered carbon footprint scoring system, we equipped our chefs with real-time data on the carbon impacts on every ingredient that goes into our recipes. This data-driven approach empowered our culinary development team to reformulate dishes without compromise on taste, familiarity, or nutritional value. A 13% reduction in overall carbon contribution from each dish sales, a drop in carbon emissions per dish from 0.6 kilos to 0.3 kilos across 75% of defence sites, from over 25 recipes re-engineered to meet both standards, MOD standards and lower carbon. Our culinary team underwent extensive training in nutritics, learning how to assess carbon footprints and make informed substitution in real time.
Could the Aramark team please make your way to the stage? And now on to the winner of the Net Zero and Resource Efficiency Award. The winner is hydrogen derived from wastewater services.
Hello, I'm Steve Massey, Project Procurement Specialist at Babcock, based here at Devonport, the UK's largest naval support site and the only dockyard licensed for submarine refits. Supporting the Royal Navy's fleet requires significant energy. To meet carbon reduction goals, we are investigating solutions to help decarbonise our Devonport facility and the wider maritime industry. Babcock's Project Procurement Specialist initiated the Hydrogen Derived from Wastewater project, a feasibility study on the science-based development of novel fuel switching technologies. We formed a strong coalition from hydrogen specialists Hydrostar Europe to academic and operational partners. Together, we turned the vision into reality, pioneering a potential solution for future energy security through a localised production demonstrator of carbon-free hydrogen fuel. Hydrostar's unique membrane-less system allows a circular economy solution, converting impure wastewater, including roof runoff, vessel bilge, brackish water and submarine effluent, into 98% pure green hydrogen. In April 2024, we launched the project to validate the technology design, its process and future-proof the techno-economic assessment of scaling up production. The results verified by academic partners were compelling. We will continue to collaborate with our industry partners, and this project could provide the basis for future use of hydrogen in dockyard infrastructure.
Fantastic. Could the project team please make their way up?
So many congratulations to the team from Babcock. We now move to the Heritage Award, which is presented to projects representing all things historic. This may include archaeology, built heritage assets, landscape preservation, and indeed museum collections. Very apt from where we are today. So the second place Heritage Award goes to the Tregantle Fort Keep project, historic flooring project, where an amazing listed heritage building can once again be used for military training.
Tregantle Fort is one of the Victorian fortifications commissioned by the Royal Commission. There's a group of forts built to defend Plymouth. In the 20th century, it was used by returning injured troops in the First World War, and in the Second World War, we had American troops based here. And now today it's a busy tri-service military training estate. With all buildings, they really need use and air circulation and ventilation. And because of the lack of that, the flooring was in a really quite a dangerous state of deterioration. We prioritise conservation to allow access again to the keep.
So basically what we've done is ripped everything out and reinstated everything. This one here is the original style of what it would have been like. As you can appreciate, it's not like an ordinary house. It's everything is bigger than normal. This one was particularly hard to do because everything here was very, very heavy, being oak.
Steve Pearce has been on this project from the beginning, and the work they've done has been tremendous. At the start of the project, there was Steve and his brother Dave. They worked on the project for 2 or 3 years together. Unfortunately, in 2022, during the pandemic, we lost Dave. But Steve, thankfully, stayed with us and carried on until the end and finished the project out.
The Ministry of Defence are an active steward of the historic estate, and these buildings, they hold legacy, and it's something we're really proud of and we care about. And I think this project really shows that.
Could I welcome the team to the stage to collect the award, please? And so to the winner of the Heritage Award. It gives me great pleasure to announce that the winner of the Heritage Sanctuary Award as the Meshing Our Heritage Project, a long-term solution to protecting our ancient monuments on Salisbury Plain. Let's see their video.
We're standing on Bowles Barrow, which is one of 27 earthen long barrows on Salisbury Plain training area. These are burial mounds from the Neolithic, so 5,500 years old, really at the top level of importance of archaeological history on the training areas. Bowles Barrow was one of the very first monuments to be decreed as heritage at risk by English Heritage, as it was, and that's because of burrowing animals. It's the biggest risk to monuments on the training areas are rabbits and badgers. So we started with this particular monument as part of a package of putting different meshes on top of them with the permission from the statutory body, just to exclude these animals and protect the monument. We're standing on actually really one of the early phases in what's been well over 10 years as a programme now on protecting monuments and making sure that the MOD looks after its heritage properly. The meshing programme has meant that we can respond to the condition surveys that we have to do by law every 5 years and demonstrate that we are looking after those monuments so they don't get deemed at risk. By meshing over them, I don't have to keep doing that every single year. You mesh a monument, that way you exclude all the burrowing animals. So that's a sustainable model. What I love about being on this place is you've got everything you can see behind us is archaeology, but as I'm talking to you, you can hear a Challenger tank. And so you've got the fact that it works really well. There's a symbiotic relationship between heritage and defence. I think this monument symbolises that. This is a work with loads of partners, so working with the military, working with in this case with Landmark, with local volunteers to help me clear scrub, with archaeologists that have been keen to excavate and learn a little bit more about it. That includes the veterans on the Up Nightingale programme. You know, I'm a very, very small part in this whole thing, but you know, if I can come here in 20, 30 years' time, look back and this monument is still looking pretty good, then I'll be a happy man, because Wiltshire's where it's at.
I'd like to welcome Richard and the team to the stage to collect their award. Thank you.
congratulations on such an innovative and simple way to deter burrowing critters. Now, the next category is the Sustainable Delivery Awards. Here, nominations were submitted for projects delivering against a Ministry of Defence priority area whilst improving or innovating sustainability. So the second place Sustainable Delivery Award goes to Project Torbay, where the team have been recycling submarines.
My name's Tom. I'm Senior Commercial Manager in the Ministry of Defence, and I was the lead for Project Torbay.
My name's Stuart. I'm a Chief Engineer for the Ministry of Defence, and my role in Project Torbay is the engineering lead for the full work package.
As an operator of nuclear submarines, the MOD has a responsibility to ensure that they're ethically and safely disposed of at the end of life. Project Torbay gave us an opportunity to look at circular economy to see if we could take old submarines and turn them into new.
Project Torbay was initiated because we were in the process of removing scrap materials from decommissioned submarines in the preparation for the pressurised water reactor defuel programme, and we recognised that instead of scrapping the materials we could put them to better use. Projects in the past have scrapped a lot of materials, and we recognised that we had a lot of high-grade steel that could be of good use in the future programme for submarine build.
The focus of this project was innovation, was to take a challenge, which was the disposal of the nuclear submarine fleet, and instead turn it into an opportunity.
So the work is undertaken in Three Basin in Devonport, which is a Ministry of Defence authorised site, and it's important because it involves the full recycling of high-grade steel from a decommissioned submarine to be reused in future submarine classes. The success of this project was collaboration. Everyone plays on their strengths, and we were very lucky to have good commercial officers that could work out the sales agreement between the Defence Equipment and Support and Sheffield Forge Masters, a good prime contractor who could efficiently extract steel for us, and ourselves as an intelligent customer, so we can manage the work package, identify the areas of removal, and make sure that everything runs efficiently. So we have demonstrated effective sustainable delivery. Instead of discarding of valuable materials, we've turned it into a symbol of innovation and responsibility. So every tonne of steel that we reuse means fewer emissions, fewer resources consumed, and a much smaller environmental footprint.
Welcome the team from Torbay to the stage. And the winner of the Sustainability Award is Project Vital Living Lab at RAF Leeming.
Around 50% of the government department's greenhouse gas emissions come from the MOD estate. To move towards net zero, we need to understand how such emissions are generated and what can be done to reduce or offset them. Our first step on the journey was Project Vital. In collaboration with academia from Newcastle University, a living laboratory was established at Royal Air Force Leeming.
Its target over the 3 years was to inform MOD's future decision-making in regard to reduce its carbon emissions. This was done by conceiving, designing, testing and evaluating experiments that could be carried out in an operational environment. Project Vital incorporated 6 experiments: carbon accounting, lightweight solar, carbon capture, geothermal energy and sustainable ground transport. We investigated all these experiments using life cycle assessment. The trailblazing concept had many notable achievements and milestones. These included the world's first investigation on the full life cycle impact of basalt rocks for enhanced rock weathering carbon capture.
Project Vital may have reached its conclusion, but its legacy will live on.
not only through reports and results, but through multiple spin-off projects. These include the development of wearable solar PV and the upcycling of diesel airside vehicles to operate on hydrogen.
Most importantly, the mutual learning and partnership enabled through Vital has been transformative to both the RAF and academic staff involved.
All of those involved in Project Vital, from start to finish, should be extremely proud of their incredible achievements, not only for UK defence, but also for our future climate resilience.
To collect your award. Congratulations to the RAF Leeming team. So we move on to the next category, which is the Climate Change Resilience Award. This category is for projects taking action to enhance climate resilience. The second place Climate Change Resilience Award goes to Exercise Turnout 24, where a refurbishment of a railhead by 507 Specialist Royal Engineers has had the sustainability of military transport at its heart. Let's have a look at the work undertaken to install composite polymer railway sleepers that have double the lifespan of timber, saved around 31,000 kilograms of CO2, eliminated the need to fell around 120 trees, and removed around 25 tons of waste from landfill. Please run. Please can I invite the representatives from Ayrshire Barracks to the stage, please? And the winner of the first Climate Change Resilience Award goes to British Forces South Atlantic Islands Project Zero, a transformative sustainability programme taking place in the Falkland Islands.
Hi, I'm Squadron Leader Marino, and I lead engineering plans in the HQ of British Forces South Atlantic Islands. And after doing an MPhil in sustainability, I've been focusing on building resilience. Mount Pleasant Complex was built just after the conflict in 1982, and essentially it's a airbase and tiny town nearly 8,000 miles away from the UK. Highly capable, but extremely reliant on a long and fragile logistics chain. So I started the Vanguard Sustainability Project. We started with baselining because there was a lack of data. With the help of the Royal Engineers, we installed power monitors and used thermal cameras to really understand how we're using energy. We combined this with existing data and it revealed key capability gaps. So we knew we needed an intelligent battery-led microgrid. This would allow bringing more wind onto the grid and to stabilize it. We also knew we needed a hydrogeological survey to understand how to be more resilient against the reducing rainfall. We also looked at a reed bed pilot for nature-based sewage treatment and also did the first EV trial in such an austere climate. There were also much more simple circular elements to stop putting so much into the ground in landfill, baling plastics for recycling and crushing glass for building aggregate. We also launched a synthetic fuel feasibility study to try and capitalise on the spare wind power in summer and use it as aviation fuel. It's absolutely been a joint effort with partners such as DIO especially, UK Stratcom, Falklands Government and several research institutes and consultants.
Can I invite the representatives from BFSAI Zero to the stage, please?
Many congratulations to the Falklands team and the best of luck for the rest of the programme. And so we move on to our final category, the Individual Achievement Award. This award celebrates individuals who have made a significant personal contribution to defence, sustainability or conservation. So the second place Individual Achievement Award goes to Lieutenant Colonel Mark Nash, who's been making a remarkable impact at Land Training Fleet Warminster.
Mark Nash has achieved an amazing result in reducing the amount of carbon that this place uses. In a period of 3 to 5 years, 2/3 of the carbon is being removed from this place, saving over £100,000 a year, almost £500,000 already. And this is a saving that is going to go on.
I take meter readings for gas and electrical meters. I do this once a month and then it's downloaded onto a spreadsheet and then basically we can see where we need to improve, what buildings we need to save more on emissions and what the difference we've made over the last few years.
How Colonel Mark's achieved the success that he has is through three factors. The main one being control, being able to control the systems by changing out some of the older gas water boilers to electric water boilers, and also having the education and the knowledge by getting the contractors to come in and actually show us how to control those thermostats. We swapped out all the lighting, replaced it with the energy saving LED lighting, which has obviously been a huge saving, and ultimately just vigilant. You know, Colonel Mark's collared me a few times and called me back in on a Friday afternoon, for example, because he's found a couple of radiators on.
With Colonel Mark's input, there's been some real buy-in with the team that work here. It's been a really good achievement. Just in this building alone, 240 tonnes down to 70 tonnes is absolutely amazing. So in this workshop alone, we've got LED lighting. It's a more efficient gas system. We use the controller more efficiently. the lighting is zoned, and the heating's only on when it's really needed, rather than just switched on every day.
What he's shown is that if you don't wait for things to come to you, you don't wait for a program to come to you and renovate your place, you don't wait for a new technological revolution, that through changing the culture, through great leadership, you can have a massive result on the amount of carbon you use and the amount of money that we spend as an army.
Every day he comes into the guard room, and if it's really hot, I always have my air conditioning unit on. There's always telling me to turn it off.
Mark, please come to the stage to collect your award. So, before we meet the winner of the individual award, I want to introduce the beautiful Nigel Lewis Trophy. It was with huge sadness that the Sanctuary team learned of the death of Nigel Lewis, the incumbent winner of both the Individual Achievement Award and the Silver Otter Trophy from last year's awards. In recognition of over 40 years of dedication to the Owls and Raptors of Salisbury Plain training area, we felt it fitting to rename an award in his honour. So the Nigel Lewis Trophy for Individual Achievement is in the form of an owl and has been kindly donated to us by Betty Lewis, Nigel's wife, and the Salisbury Plain Owl and Raptor Group. We are delighted that Betty and family members are here with us today, along with Dick Clayton and other members of the Owl and Raptor Group. So, it was with great personal pleasure that I can announce that the well-deserved first winner of the Nigel Lewis Trophy for Individual Achievement is Lynn Halston, a linchpin at Castle Martin Rangers.
We are at St Govans. We've got St Govans Chapel behind us. This area is part of Castle Martin Range, which is situated on the southwest coast of Pembrokeshire. Because the military have been training here, it's become an area which has got amazing wildlife. We've got the largest area of semi-natural grassland in Wales. We've got numerous scheduled ancient monuments. We've got public access. There's something here for everybody to enjoy and appreciate. We've got the military that want to use the range. We've got Defence Infrastructure Organisation that provide the safe place and monitor and maintain. We've got the Pembrokeshire Coast National Park that looks at the access, the recreation, the tourism, Natural Resources Wales that wants to monitor the SSSIs.
Lynn is absolutely key. Linchpin sat between the various organisations, and that incorporates everything from dealing with public access management, species management, species monitoring, working with the military here to make sure that the appropriate steps are taken to manage the public when the range is live and active.
My job here is to supply a safe place to train so all three services can come here and do what they need to do. In line with that, obviously it's a national park and it has SSSI status. So Lynn is my link in to the national park. It's great news that Lynn is getting recognised via the Sanctuary Award. She does a lot of work, a lot of unseen work here.
Lynn has been with us for 22 years, but this isn't about a long-term service recognition. This is absolutely about recognising someone who goes above and beyond her role and is so dedicated and gives so much time and passion and expertise.
I love it. It's such a special job. It is such a special place. And yeah, I hope I can stay here for as long as I can.
So, Betty, Dick, I wonder if you would please take the stage in order to present the first Nigel Lewis award, please. So welcome Lynn to the stage. Please collect your award, please. So many congratulations, Lynn, on your well-deserved award, and thank you so much, Betty and Dick, for providing and presenting the trophy today. The trophy will ensure that Nigel is remembered in the MOD conservation sphere for many years to come. So. That is all of the Sanctuary Award categories announced, and so many congratulations again to everyone recognised here today. But we still have 3 more awards to be presented, and we will start with the Innovation Award, followed by the Operational Capability Award, and then the Silver Otter Trophy. All of the winners from the previous 7 categories are in the mix for these final 3 awards, and as I've mentioned, these results have remained a closely guarded secret until now. So, we still want to hear from our virtual audience out there. Keep posting on X, Instagram and LinkedIn using the hashtag Sanctuary Awards. And I'm now going to hand over to Stuart Laws to announce the winner of the Innovation Award. Stuart.
Hello everybody, I'm Stuart Laws. I am Assistant Head within the UK Defence Innovation Organisation, which is part of the NAD Group now. All of the Sanctuary Award category winners were put forward for the Innovation Award, which was judged by subject matter experts from the Innovation Directorate. We were looking for a project or individual who we felt exemplified innovative behaviours, for example by championing the adoption of new ideas through innovative ways of working. From this highly competitive field of 7 worthy candidates, it gives me great pleasure to announce that the winner of the Innovation Award this year is Project Vital Living Lab at RAF Leman. The panel were inspired by this groundbreaking collaboration between the RAF and Newcastle University. We felt that by using RAF Leman as a living lab to pioneer carbon reduction technologies and methodologies, this unique partnership has set a new benchmark in advancing science and innovation to achieve net zero in defence. We were fascinated by the innovative experiments carried out, especially around soil-based carbon capture, the geothermal energy and the life cycle assessment. We were also impressed was how Project Vital's contributions extended beyond the RAF. The project's ability to enable the first global framework for military life cycle environmental impact assessments, as well as fostering international collaboration, should not be underestimated. For its successful contributions to sustainability, innovation and international collaboration, Project Vital is a deserving recipient of the Innovation Award. Please come to the stage to collect your award.
Thank you, Stuart. It gives me great pleasure to be invited to announce the winner of the Operational Capability through Sustainability Award. The Striking Custom Made Trophy incorporates the 3 elements of sustainability alongside military activity. And fun fact, its base includes a section of floorboard from the keep at Tregantle that we met earlier. I'd like to invite James to the stage to present this award, please.
Definitely didn't have that last year.
Sorry, there's a bit of... And the winner of the Operational Capability Award, who get to take the stunning and hefty trophy home, is British Forces South Atlantic Islands Project Zero.
Thanks, Hannah, and again, many congratulations to the Falkland Islands Project, a hugely well-deserved award. So this brings us to the final Sanctuary Award presentation, that of the coveted Silver Otter Trophy. This lovely otter has been presented since the awards began in 1991 to the best conservation effort on the Ministry of Defence estate. So it gives me enormous pleasure to announce that the hugely deserved winner of the Silver Otter Trophy is our Castle Mountain Ranger, Lynn Holston. Lynn. So before I hand over to Minister for his closing address, I would like to direct you to the 53rd edition of Sanctuary magazine. This is a very special bumper 50th anniversary edition, our golden edition, beautifully designed by Rachel Middleton from John Good Limited. The publication doesn't just celebrate 50 years of the magazine, but highlights the work of thousands of volunteers who make up our MOD conservation groups, which have also been running for 5 decades. In here, you'll be able to read about all of the award-winning projects you have seen today, alongside many, many more projects and programmes happening across defence in the sustainability sphere. Copies of the magazine will be available for those in attendance today as you leave the room on your way to lunch. And you'll be able to access the magazine online from about 10 minutes' time. But contact the Sanctuary team if you'd like a printed copy. All of the details are on the screens either side of us and on our social media channels. And this screen will be up again at the end of the ceremony for our virtual viewers. I'm now delighted to hand over to Minister Pollard, Minister of State for Defence Readiness and Industry, addressing us today from MOD Main Building.
Hello, my name's Luke Pollard. I'm the Minister for Defence Readiness and Industry, and I'm responsible for sustainability within the MOD. Thank you to everyone for the work that has gone into this year's awards. Whether you're a volunteer or a defence professional, your environmental work is essential to increasing our warfighting readiness and meeting the expectations of those people who work in defence and the British people. Because battlefield electrification will require our armed forces to have more power in the future as they battle the increasing impacts of climate change at the same time, I want us to go further and faster on environmental matters. The Ministry of Defence currently manages 1% of the UK, but we generate less than 1% of the power we use. So we're rolling out more renewables, we're investing in better housing to cut bills, and through our Defence Energy and Capability Resilience Centre of Excellence, we'll provide a testing ground for emerging energy technologies as well. We must also take inspiration from our nominees and continue to help nature recovery. Whether that's improving water quality, planting trees, or nurturing biodiversity, replenishing and re-wetting our peatlands, the public wants the military to better manage our environmental impacts. We all do. So from me, a huge congratulations to all our fantastic nominees and award winners, and a plea from me as well. There are too many stupid rules that are getting in the way of defence delivering our outputs. So if you know a stupid rule that's getting in the way of protecting our environment, cutting bills, or delivering for defence, let me know. Because every pound we save is a pound we can spend on being secure at home and strong abroad. So please, keep up the good work, and thank you for everything you're doing.
So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That closes our award ceremony today. A huge congratulations to all of our award winners and runners-up. And thank you to everyone in attendance today, our judging panel, for the General and the Air Commodore for helping us present the trophies. But thank you, folks, for being, and enjoy some lunch when you get there. Magazine on the left-hand door. Thank you very much.